What's growing on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you 3 types of determinate tomatoes that I grew in my fall garden this year, and I want to show you the differences between all 3 varieties so you can see which ones perform the best in a fall gardening scenario. I grew 3 determinate tomato varieties in my fall garden this year. They are Legend, Celebrity Plus, and Red Snapper. And the reason why I selected these varieties is because they're supposed to be pretty disease resistant, and because they are determinate varieties, they spend all of their time ripening the fruit once they form instead of growing vines. So they're generally speaking a better selection for fall gardening than indeterminate varieties. However, I had a problem. I got hit with 2 tropical storms over the course of 2 or 3 weeks back in August. It damaged my plants twice, and they had to grow back from dieback. So it set them back easily a month, and I'm not going to get a great harvest, but this video should still show you which ones are the most productive for a fall gardening scenario. These 2 tomato plants growing in the straw bale right here are my Legend tomatoes. Now, Legend was bred from the same breeding program as Selects, and it was specifically bred to ripen in really cool conditions like they get in coastal Oregon, where they don't get warm summer days. This is the only variety that has consistently ripened some fruit for me. They have been of pretty decent quality, good taste. Now, I've had success with the variety Selects before, but the problem is it's super disease susceptible. I'm seeing Legend being a lot more disease resistant. Most of the leaves, especially the newer growth, look absolutely fantastic. It's still flowering profusely. Some of the older leaves have some spotting and disease on it, but it's kind of just laughing off the disease. So this one I would highly recommend for fall gardening. Then over here you have 2 varieties, Celebrity Plus and Red Snapper. My Red Snapper plants got beaten up by disease. You can see all of the disease on the lower leaves right here. That surprised me because this is supposed to be a variety that's pretty good in the south. I did pick a tomato or 2 off of it, but they rotted on me. As of right now, I can't say this is a good variety for fall gardening. It doesn't seem to like the cooler temperatures. However, I am going to try this again in the spring. It's supposed to be very heat resistant. You can see the splitting and the problems that the fruits are having. Now, this Celebrity Plus variety, on the other hand, the leaves are pristine. I can't believe how beautiful and perfect all the leaves are. And this plant got battered. Both of these plants got battered from the storm. Yet they are some of the most beautiful leaves I have ever seen. So in terms of summer gardening, I can't wait to grow this again. However, because they got so battered, I can't seem to get any production off of them. There are tomatoes on the plants, but they're kind of sparse, and while they do look a lot better and they're handling the cool temperatures better than the Red Snapper variety, I can't say this worked out well for me. They just seem to want heat more, so I can't really recommend these 2 for fall gardening plants. Now remember, I live in coastal southeastern North Carolina, Zone 8B. If you live considerably south of me, like in southern South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, the Gulf Coast, Florida, Southern California, you may have better luck with those fall varieties than I had. However, for me, my falls just aren't warm enough and long enough. However, if you're in my general vicinity or north of me, it looks like that Legend variety is a really good variety to grow. And if you don't have the disease problems that I have, I would also recommend Selects if you want a determinate style slicing tomato. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.